Paul Keating has claimed Australia has made itself a target by aligning with the US on AUKUS. What do you think of those comments?
Everything Paul Keating says is utter nonsense. I listened to the interview on ABC, and essentially he's promoting an agenda that is anti-AUKUS, anti-US, and ultimately pro-China. And so it needs to be, sort of exposed for his personal agenda. Now, he's clearly opposed to AUKUS in every sense of the word. He's also opposed to Australia-US defence cooperation. Australia-US defence cooperation is the foundation and the bedrock of our defence policy, and it remains one of the most important aspects of Australian defence policy and has been since essentially the end of the Second World War. When he was Treasurer and when he was Prime Minister, US-Australian defence cooperation was at that bedrock. So frankly, I don't understand now why he's opposing it.
I wanted to ask you about another topic. We've learned more about a terror plot foiled in Austria, where it's suspected some teenagers were planning to target people heading to Taylor Swift concerts. This comes of course, the terror threat in Australia has been upgraded. Is there anything that Australia can learn from what's happening in Austria at the moment?
Look, I've heard of that. I'm not sure how significant it was. It's a copycat, a potential copycat attack from other incidents where you've had these sorts of attacks. At a Taylor Swift concert, so it's highly publicised. But I think Australia does need to be on its alert. You've had ASIO just recently increase the alert level from possible to probable. I think that's a very sensible move, particularly with what's going on in the Middle East at the moment. And so we just do need to be cautious of groups and individuals that could seek to use terrorism as a means to achieve their ends.
And what sort of conversations do you think would be going on in our intelligence community around large-scale events in Australia? Would be the heightened concern?
I think there will be heightened concern. There will be, the intelligence community have to focus on two things at the moment. The first is intelligence activities by hostile states seeking to exploit gaps in our counterintelligence to gain information to our disadvantage. And the second is terrorist activities that could be carried out either from internal actors, lone wolves, or foreign groups that are sponsored by some sort of religious cause. And I think that we need to be conscious of all of these threats. And the intelligence agencies like ASIO and ASIS and the Australian Federal Police are all really critical in protecting Australians and this country against those sorts of threats.
And the Taylor Swift incident was apparently inspired by ISIS. It feels like it's been a while since we've spoken about Islamic State-inspired attacks in Australia. Does ISIS still pose a threat here?
I think it does, in the sense that ISIS is still around. They're still active in the Middle East and in Africa. And clearly, all it takes is a few individuals here to be motivated by their cause to be a threat. So we do need to be on our guard. We have to recognise that there are hostile actors out there that do seek to do us harm and do harm to Australians, both overseas and here in Australia. And so we have to work with our allies and partners to counter that threat.
Malcolm, thank you very much for your insights.
Thank you.